It's a warm Florida evening when Sandy Razzo arrives home from work and comes face to face with a killer.
Some shots hit Miss Razzo in her extremities, others that hit her in, the body. And then there was one that was in her head.
Sandy will never know who or why. But this is no random slaying.
Before this, Tracy Humphrey had said, make sure you look into her eyes and you see the life drain from her eyes.
When 19-year-old Ashley Laney walks into a new gym in Tampa, Florida, she's intimidated by the hard bodies. Ashley's only recently left home. She's shy, lacking confidence, but immediately attracted to hotshot instructor Tracy Humphrey.
He's nearly 20 years older than her. He's an authority figure, and she immediately falls for this guy.
When you first meet Tracy, he gives you the impression that he really knows what he's doing. He's very confident and seems to really want to help people.
Toby White trained with Tracy at the gym, watching him move in on Ashley.
She was very bubbly, innocent. I started to feel protective of her. I could see how naive she was, how innocent she was.
Weeks later, Ashley's whole life has been transformed. She has a new body and a new love. But she's made a mistake. She's in the clutches of a monster.
Tracy Humphrey's background is littered with violence against women.
He had a very lengthy criminal history, spent time in prison. There were previous cases of him battering women in the past.
One victim is former girlfriend Sandy Razzo.
You don't say no to Tracy Humphrey, because he will get back at you for it. And Sandy Razzo said no to him more than once, but not this weekend. She says no, and he violently beats her and rapes her. She files sexual assault, rape charges against Tracy, and this becomes the beginning of the end for Sandy Razzo.
Tracy's new girlfriend, Ashley, isn't putting up a fight.
He's not only training her physically, he's training her mentally.
According to author M. William Phelps, he wants total control of Ashley.
He understands her, he reads her well right away, that this is a girl with zero self-esteem. And all I have to do is tell her what she wants to hear, and she's gonna be my puppet. She's gonna do anything I want.
He's chosen the perfect target. Ashley craves the control of a powerful man.
The men in Ashley's background were hardly stellar examples of what a man should be. Her father spent most of Ashley's life in prison. Her brother was in and out of juvenile facilities. Men who have a need to control women, to control everything in their life, would not be attracted to a strong, independent woman.
Look at me in the eye.
They are attracted to women who are looking for daddy.
One more. This is for us. Look at me.
That's exactly what Tracy wants. He needs a puppet to take care of some deadly business. Tracy's rape case is looming, and he cannot let his victim, Sandy Razzo, testify.
Tracy Humphrey had made a deal with himself. He would never, ever go back to prison. And he knew that a sexual assault case, a rape case, could put him in prison for 10 to 15 years, maybe 20 years.
Naive, vulnerable, Ashley will do anything for her man. To make sure she does, Tracy seals the deal with a wedding.
Tracy and Ashley get married inside the gym, go out for Chinese food for the reception, and for the nightcap, Ashley's gonna commit murder.
Ashley was only dangerous to one person in the world, and it was the person Tracy wanted her to kill.
At age 19, Ashley Humphrey should be putting on makeup for a night out with friends. Instead, she's getting made up for murder.
She had what she called a murder kit, and in that murder kit was oversized clothes, baggy clothes, oversized shoes, and black face paint.
He figured witnesses, if they saw her, would think, it's just a black guy. They would describe the killer as a black guy. And that's what he wanted, to throw off the scent.
From the safety of his couch, Tracy Humphrey will commit murder by remote control.
Yeah.
Okay, put it on.
Put it on your hands.
No.
I want you everywhere. I want you to look like a black man, okay?
Tracy is a violent rapist, up on a serious charge. Ashley's job is to silence the only witness, Tracy's victim, Sandy Razzo.
Ashley agrees to murder her for Tracy. And the reason she does this is simple. She wants his love. She wants his love. She wants everything he's promising her.
Tracy and Ashley's relationship can, I think, be pretty well described 2 words: master and slave.
On Tracy's orders, Ashley follows Sandy home from work.
Ashley was young and impressionable, but most importantly, she had a very, very strong need to be controlled by a man. In that regard, she was a sitting duck when Tracy came along, because he needed a woman to control.
Sandy pulls up in front of her condo, drives in the driveway, pulls into the garage, does not close the garage door.
From across town, the puppet master now dials in her death.
When you're done.
And he's telling her, you go and you do it. Then she runs into the garage. She grabs the pistol and she points it directly at Sandy Razzo's face. She begins to fire.
Sandy Razzo was shot 8 times. It was not the first shot that killed her. There was an apparent struggle. There were some shots that hit Miss Razzo in her extremities, others that hit her in, the body, and then there was one that was in her head. It would be a horrific way to die.
Before this, Tracy had said, make sure you look into her eyes and you see the life drain from her eyes.
I still can't get past the fact that she, on her own, walked up to somebody and shot them 8 times.
I think for Ashley, killing Sandy was a pretty easy thing to do because it was just one thing she had to do to keep Tracy in her life, and that was the most important thing.
Tracy thinks he's pulled off the perfect murder. His accuser is dead. He has a rock-solid alibi. But Tracy's need for control will bring him undone. Sergeant Scott Galzewski says cell phone records gave his team a vital clue.
Her cell phone was pinging off of towers shortly after the 911 call was made. And prior to that, they were pinging off of the towers, which were right by the location where Sandy Razzo worked at. So we started thinking, you know, she possibly was the one that, you know, committed the homicide.
It's gonna be okay. We can help you.
Away from Tracy's menacing influence, Ashley crumbles.
She wanted me to do it.
Who wanted you to do it?
Tracy. She was making up lies about him. He was gonna go to prison.
Ashley is not a stupid woman. There is no indication she wouldn't have had a very good life if she'd used her own brain. But she surrendered it. Her need to be loved by a man, a brutish man, took control of her life.
She needs someone to tell her what to do. And she met, really, Satan. She met the ultimate evil.
Ashley and Tracy Humphrey are both found guilty of murder. Tracy gets life. Ashley will spend 25 years behind bars.
Ashley ended one life and threw her own life away because she thought she needed a man.
I really believe had Ashley never met Tracy Humphrey, she would have never killed anyone in her life.
On a lonely highway, a killing spree is over. 11 people are dead, and 2 teenage rebels are under arrest. One of them is a 14-year-old schoolgirl, Carol Fugate.
He kidnapped me. I had nothing to do with killing them people.
Carol Fugate's story consistently has been that she was an unwilling hostage and not an accomplice, and she claims that to this day.
Is she truly an innocent hostage, or was her finger also on the trigger?
There was a term for her: high-tempered and easily angered and violent. I just think that once wasn't enough for her.
Lincoln, Nebraska, 1958. Carol Fugate is a sullen teen.
How you doing? Come on, give me a hug. Ah, that's it. Oh, baby.
People said that she was a little snip and unevenly tempered.
Go and clean your room. I want you to make your bed now, young lady. I won't say it again.
Who cares if I make my bed?
I do. Now go and clean your room.
She didn't practice much self-control. You know, she did pretty much what she wanted to.
Sister's been a naughty girl.
She didn't like her parents very much, but that's not so unusual for a 14-year-old girl.
What is unusual is her choice of boyfriend. Charlie Starkweather is 19, a loner who worships James Dean.
What he liked about James Dean was his sense of James Dean having a solitary, lonely existence and didn't fit in with the world.
By the time Charlie was in his teen years, he hated society. He has said that he would like to live in a world where only he existed.
It's a dangerous liaison with a deadly secret. Charlie is an unstable killer.
He just had kind of a wild look. Something about his eyes that seemed to frighten people.
He shoots a man in a gas station robbery and gets away with it.
He felt good about killing. It made him feel powerful, and his self-esteem went up.
Author William Allen says Charlie and Carol became a frightening combination.
They both felt that they had met somebody who was like themselves. She was a dominant female, very aggressive and hostile. I think when two dominant people bond like that, they become so much bigger and more dangerous than they would be alone.
Carol's family is now in danger. The truth about what happens next depends on who you believe.
Charlie got in an argument with Carol's mother, and she said, "We don't want you to ever come back here anymore." He started arguing with her, and she started slapping him around.
Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Get out of the way! Get out of my house!
According to Charlie, he kills Carol's stepfather, with Carol happily at his side.
And then shot Carol's mother in the side of the face at point-blank range.
Even Carol's baby sister isn't spared.
Betty Jean, she was 2.5 years old, and Carol hated her, was jealous of her, because she was treated better than Carol had been treated.
Carol Fugate has a different story. She says she came home from school that day to find her family missing.
Charles told her he and his gang, as he described it, had taken her parents and half-sister hostage, and that they were going to, I believe, rob a bank or something, and that her parents would be released after they accomplished this. So that's how he was able to keep her in the house for this approximately about a week.
For the next 6 days, the couple stay holed up in Carol's house. A simple note keeps the world at bay. Charlie Starkweather has created his own paradise.
Charlie is known to have said that the 6 days following the massacre of Carol's family, where he and Carol drank soda pop and threw knives for practice and made love all over the house, were the happiest days of his life. What does that tell you about this man's life?
Fearing the police, Charlie finally takes Carol out of the house, onto the highway, and into a cross-country murder spree.
I think once Charlie started killing, he couldn't stop.
It will make him more famous than his hero, James Dean, and put Carol in the middle of a mystery. Is she a hostage or a killer?
She was willing and able to do anything that Charlie wanted to do. She was even, in some ways, more violent than he was.
In rural Nebraska in the 1950s, it's not unusual to pick up hitchhikers, even when they carry guns.
Hey, I was just wondering if we could get a lift about 5 miles down. We were just doing some hunting about a mile back and...
Charlie Starkweather has just shot the owner of a nearby farm. Victim number 5. Carol Fugate is his hostage. Young sweethearts Bob Jensen and Carol King have made a terrible mistake.
They were the polar opposites of Charlie Starkweather and Carol Fugate. They were honor students. He played football. They went to church.
Get out of the car! You too, sweetheart! Honey, Tim, you first!
They were the ideal teenager of that period, and they became the victims.
Just get out there! Moving downstairs! Just take the car! Take it! I have to do this!
The fate of Bob Jensen and Carol King still haunts former reporter Del Harding.
I arrived with the law enforcement officials looking down in that storm cellar, and here's this half-naked body of Carol King and the bloody body of Bobby Jensen. I can close my eyes and see that just like it happened yesterday.
Turn around!
Charlie admitted shooting Bobby Jensen 6 times. Just bang, bang, bang.
But with this murder, something came out of Charlie that hadn't been seen before, and that was an aggressive sexual nature.
Charlie took Carol King down into the cellar, and he was down there for 15, 20 minutes, something like that. When he came back up, Carol was furious.
What the hell have you been doing?
Because she thought he was having sex with Carol King.
You raped her, didn't you?
What happens next is still in dispute.
I can tell when you're lying.
Charlie Starkweather later swears that Carol goes into the cellar alone.
He heard a gunshot from the cellar. Carol came back and told him that Carol King had tried to run, so she had to shoot her.
When her body is found, it has been horribly mutilated.
Carol Fugate supposedly took a knife and carved the private areas of Carol King.
It was a savage attack on her female anatomy. Usually when we see that, where it is a male and female couple killing people, that's often an indicator that the female partner did that, and she did it out of jealousy.
But is Carol Fugate's hand really on that knife? Is she an accomplice or a terrified hostage?
She stayed in the car. She had no place to go. She was out in the middle of nowhere, middle of winter, and she was just frozen with fear. She thought she was going to be the next victim at any time.
James MacArthur's father, John, was Carol's defense attorney in 1958.
It's always been the belief, both of my father and myself, that Carol has been totally innocent of this. Carol realized very early on, she told me, that there was something mentally wrong with Charles, and she wanted to break up with him, and that, in fact, is what appears to have precipitated the entire tragic events that followed.
It's Carol's rejection that sends an unstable teen over the edge. Dragged along for the bloody ride, she's too terrified to escape.
Carol, 14 years old, she was with a person that she realized was a madman that she had seen was able and willing to kill somebody, literally at the drop of a hat.
It certainly wouldn't be unusual for a person taken hostage by a killer to remain with them because they were afraid they'd be killed. That's totally understandable. I'm not at all sure that's what happened in this case. There are too many discrepancies, and there are too many statements from Carol that are quite simply unbelievable.
It's only when Charlie surrenders to police that she runs to safety.
Kidnap me. I had nothing to do with killing them people.
By then, there is a trail of 11 dead behind them. Charlie Starkweather pleads guilty and is sentenced to death. He also implicates Carol. Found guilty of first-degree murder, she gets life in prison.
I felt the same way as her jury did. She was a willing accomplice. Her demeanor, her testimony, all of that together, there was no doubt in my mind, and still is no doubt in my mind, that she was a willing accomplice and may have killed several of the people, the victims herself.
Carol was a very frightened person when I first met her, and she obviously felt that she was being wronged, that people didn't understand her. When I talked to her, and I was almost her same age, that seemed to be her strongest thing that she wanted to get across, that this was a terrible wrong that was being done to her.
In 1976, Carol Fugate is released on parole. She still maintains her innocence. Christine Paolilla is a tortured soul.
She would be instantly terrified. She would see her face in the mirror.
Haunted by the faces of her 4 murdered friends.
It was tragic and it was awful, and it was something, no matter what they were doing, they certainly did not deserve.
Christine Paolilla has always been a loner. Teased as a child because of an embarrassing disease.
Alopecia, or hair loss, is almost always caused by severe stress. I mean, the fact that Christine lost her hair at such a young age is so, so sad, but it speaks to the enormous stress she was under.
This poor little girl lost her daddy. She's only a couple years old. And then her mother turned to drugs, and that made it even worse.
Against the odds by the age of 17, Christine is no longer the ugly duckling.
The kids in the Clear Lake High School were a very supportive bunch, and that is where Christine finally found acceptance.
Life is on the up when she meets her first boyfriend, Chris Snyder.
Christine's attraction to Chris is really no surprise. Chris was an outsider. Christine felt like an outsider all her life. So it was really a perfect match.
Christine also has her first real girlfriends. Popular senior students, Rachel Colorutis and Tiffany Rowell.
They knew Christine had been picked on and made fun of, and they kind of took her under their wing and made her feel accepted.
Christine is now part of the in crowd, the party set.
Tiffany was living in a home in her senior year in high school without any parent. She had a boyfriend who was very involved in ecstasy and marijuana, and there's a strong suspicion of a lot of drug dealing activity going on in the house.
Drugs are also part of Christine's life, as well as petty crime and violent movies, thanks to Chris.
Have you ever thought about what it'd be like to actually kill someone?
Chris was a very dark person.
I think it'd be the biggest rush in the whole world.
Taking pretty much a path of destruction and not caring who he took with him. He seemed to be very much a sociopath.
What would you say if I could get you a gun?
He definitely was not the kind of influence that Christine needed if she was going to recover from her difficult past.
Is that something you might be interested in?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I think Christine was a ticking time bomb, and Chris Snyder lit the fuse.
The lovers know drugs and cash are abundant at Tiffany's home.
Is that it?
They want them
Yeah?
at any price.
Okay. Okay.
And salsa dip, don't forget the salsa.
Rachel Colorutis is wearing her tennis shoes and is fully dressed. She's getting ready to go to the mall. She allows them in, and they make their way into the living room.
What's up, bro? Yo, got any pills?
Without warning, their friends become their enemies.
I'm gonna ask you again, where are the pills?
Is this a joke?
It was clear the way things quickly developed that they were willing to do whatever it took to get what they want.
Dude, sit back! Shut up! You two, shut up! Shut up!
While Snyder is holding the others on gunpoint, Christine Paolilla takes Rachel through the house to look for the drugs and the money.
Come on! Put them in there.
Put the gun down and get
Shut up!
gun down.
But robbery is not enough.
She absolutely laid out why she had to kill him. She said, don't rob your friends. You couldn't rob your friends because they would be able to identify you. Rachel gets shot numerous times. To her legs and to her buttocks and back area. And that Christine and Christopher then leave.
Let's just go. Go!
Rachel is still alive. Critically wounded, she makes a desperate attempt to get help.
I can only imagine that there was just sheer fear and terror. And despite being shot all those times, she still was able to fight and still was trying to get help for herself.
Her nightmare is far from over.
I feel so much heart-rending pain for Rachel. Her final moments on this earth were nothing but horror.
In the summer of 2003, in Clear Lake, Houston, 4 young friends are shot in cold blood. Three years later, killer Christine Paolilla is still free. Or is she? Her conscience is wearing her down.
She really believed that Rachel was haunting her, that Rachel was warning her, saying that you're gonna end up paying for what you did to me.
Drugs that turned her into a killing machine now consume her life. She's paranoid and hasn't stepped out of her filthy motel room for 9 months.
There was a line of syringes, like little soldiers on the dresser, all filled with heroin, ready to fire away.
Christine's only companion is her new husband, Justin Rott, a fellow drug addict.
She says, I trust you, and I need to talk.
So I had to go back inside to make sure they were all dead.
She went back in by herself, she told me, and Rachel was still alive. She was pleading, please, please. She had no more bullets. And Christine pistol whipped her. Until she died.
There was blood everywhere.
She told me she got back in the car and Chris took her to work 30 minutes after this happened.
You went to work?
And I think that's what really got me the most.
That act tells me everything I need to know about the heart and soul of Christine. It's black.
Shocked me. Need to figure out what I'm gonna do, what we're gonna do, what's the truth, what's really going on here, because it shocked me.
Christine's loose lips will eventually be her downfall.
Someone came forward with a tip that pointed them in the direction of Christine and Chris.
Get down on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Don't move! Show us your hands!
Police are led to Christine and Justin's putrid motel room.
Hands behind your back! Come on, hands behind your back!
It was worse than some of the decomposed body scenes I've been on. The place just absolutely reeked. along with blood being spattered on the walls from using the needles.
Under police questioning, Justin crumbles.
Not until the day we actually got arrested did it actually become real. And like, she did do this. Everything she's told me is true. This isn't a joke. This isn't fake. This is real.
Christine is convicted of 4 counts of murder. An automatic life sentence. The other killer, Chris Snyder, will never be brought to justice.
By the time they got there, Chris was dead. He'd gone into the woods and taken his own life. Some people say, oh, that shows Chris's remorse. I don't think so. That's the hallmark of a sociopath.
Christine killed the only 2 girlfriends she ever had, and she did it without anger. Christine could probably kill anyone. She's a very dangerous woman.
Most teenagers love their freedom. Not 16-year-old Lori Show.
Thank you. Please don't be late.
I will be here. I love you.
She's afraid to leave her parents' side.
Anyone who has to live in that fear, you can't imagine what it was like.
Oh, look who it is!
In Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in 1991, Lori Show is stalked, threatened, and assaulted by another teenager.
Do you know you have a whore as a daughter?
She would call our house all hours of the day and night until it came to the point where I had to change our phone number.
No, it's not gonna stop until she's paid.
Lori's mom, Hazel, is also a target for Lisa Michelle Lambert.
Call the police.
She would confront me, screaming and yelling that my daughter had wrecked her life. It was scary. I'm an adult, and that girl scared me.
"19-year-old Lisa Michelle is lovesick for Lawrence Youngkin. She moves in with the 20-year-old roofer, but their relationship is anything but a fairy tale.
That's exactly what I want.
They fed off of each other. They were young, they were immature. Their fights got physical.
Oh, you're hurting me.
Their relationship was at times a very volatile one, and even a violent one where he did abuse her.
It was on one of their early dates where he raped her, and she continued seeing him. I think that says more about her than it does about him.
Into this unhealthy relationship, the younger 16-year-old Lori Show becomes an unwitting third party.
Laurie met them, and after knowing them for a short while, Michelle and Lawrence broke up. He was crying and upset. She felt sorry for him. So it's like, hey, let's go shopping. Thank you. I had a really great time.
I had a great time too.
Just something to get his mind off of Michelle so he wouldn't be moping around. And that was her downfall. Thank you. I had a really great time.
I had an awesome time. I had a really good time.
Lawrence Deep raped Laurie.
Please,
What is your problem?
No, I'm sorry. I have to go.
anywhere. Get in the back. Get your hand off that and get in the back right now. Get in the back!
Lisa Michelle found out that Lawrence had actually raped Lori. It made her even more angry, but not at Lawrence, at Lori, his rape victim.
Just 1 week after the rape, Lisa Michelle goes back to her abusive partner with some interesting news.
I'm pregnant.
You're pregnant?
Yeah.
Well, let's drink to that.
Even though Lawrence is pleased, it doesn't ease Lisa Michelle's anger.
The fact that her man looked at another woman was more than she could handle. She had to destroy the source of her pain.
You think you can steal my man, do you?
Michelle, I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't you dare lie to me. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Lori cried and pleaded, Michelle, just go away. I don't want Lawrence. You're gonna have a baby. Go get married, do whatever. Leave me alone. And she wouldn't have any of it.
Nothing happened. Just watch yourself.
Only one thing will bring this bitter feud to an end. Lori Sho's life is in turmoil. A casual night out has led to rape, and she's being stalked by her attacker's pregnant girlfriend. Her parents rarely leave her alone, even in a public place. She is in danger.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be alone. Get off me! Bitch, stop it, you!
She beat Lori up in the parking lot at the mall.
Hey, what you done to my baby? Yeah.
Lori wouldn't defend herself because Michelle was pregnant and she was afraid of hurting the baby.
Come on.
At that point, we decided to press charges for a simple assault, and maybe that would waken her up. It didn't help. It just continued.
Lisa Michelle Lambert found out the police were going to arrest her. She said, well, I'll take care of Lori. And 2 days later, she did.
That bitch is gonna pay.
She's a filthy slut.
Lisa Michelle recruits an accomplice, a gullible new girl in Lancaster, Tabitha Buck.
What are you gonna do to her? I'm gonna cut her hair off so she looks like the whore that she is.
Lisa Michelle convinced her friend Tabitha to go along with it because Tabitha thought it was simply going to be humiliating Lori by cutting her hair.
But Lisa Michelle has something far more sinister planned. Police officer Renee Booker was assigned to the case. She remembers Lisa Michelle's meticulous plan.
There was a phone call about a problem with Lori at school, and they asked Hazel, the person asked Hazel to meet her the next day at school to discuss this problem.
For the first time in months, Hazel leaves her daughter alone.
We didn't go anywhere without her being with someone because Michelle was that much of a threat.
With Hazel out of the apartment, Lisa Michelle strikes.
Lawrence Youngkin drove
his girlfriend Lisa Michelle Lambert, and Tabitha Buck to the condominiums. Tabitha went up first, and Lisa Michelle was nearby.
Hey, is Hazel home? No, she's not. I'm sorry. Get out of here, you crazy bitch! You're gonna pay, bitch!
Within seconds, it is obvious they are not there to cut hair.
Lori ran to her bedroom.
Get off me!
The suspects followed.
Stop it, you have my baby!
And Lori struggled. Tabitha Buck's participation was that she held down Lori's legs. Lori had numerous wounds on her body. Her lung was punctured, and her throat was slashed.
When I got to the junior high, there was no one there. And usually I would wait, but that morning something just had me that I had to go home.
Hazel returned home to this carnage.
Lori!
I screamed for someone to call 911, and I went to her side. And at that point, I saw that her throat was cut. I cradled her in my arms and told her I loved her.
I didn't do you! I didn't!
She was able to whisper to me that Michelle did it. Michelle did it.
I can't even fathom what it must have been like for Hazel. Or begin to imagine what it must have been like for her, the horror.
I'm sorry.
All her attempts to protect her child have been futile.
I told her I was so sorry that I left her, that it was a setup. She lured me out.
Honey, I'm sorry.
It was just unbelievable that I fell for that. But I didn't know the depths of evil. The only thing is that I got home in time to talk to her, that I got home to tell her I loved her, and she did nothing wrong. I don't know where I'd be today if I hadn't had that chance. It made all the difference.
Lori's deathbed testimony leads police straight to Lisa Michelle and her accomplices.
That was a very organized act to get the protector of her victim out of the way, and she succeeded.
Lawrence Youngkin is found guilty of third-degree murder and sentenced to a minimum of 10 years. Tabitha Buck is found guilty of second-degree murder and sentenced to life.
You got the sense that she was remorseful and very sorry for all that had transpired, and seemed somewhat confused as to how maybe it snowballed in the way that it did.
While awaiting trial, Lisa Michelle gives birth to a baby girl. She is being raised by her grandparents. Having been found guilty of first-degree murder, Lisa Michelle Lambert will spend the rest of her life behind bars.
I don't want to ever see her out. I would be in fear of my life if she was ever released.
If Lisa Michelle were released and she were less than 85 years old, some woman somewhere around her would be in danger.
If I got it all worked out, you can break me out of my court hearing next year.
What's that at your hearing?
You're gonna do it, right?
A dangerous prisoner
Yeah.
is about to make a daring escape. His weapon, more powerful than armed guards or handcuffs. It's the love of a woman.
She did what she was told to do by the man she loved. She would have done anything for him.
I think that is probably the hardest thing for me to deal with, knowing my daughter has killed somebody.
In a Tennessee prison, a married mother of 3 begins work as a nurse.
She worked shift at the prison, and she was getting harassed by the other prisoners. They were showing themselves to her. So one of the guards says, well, I think we have somebody that can walk around with you and help you with these problems.
Jennifer, ask and thou shalt receive. Want you to meet your new bodyguard, George Hyatt.
How you doing, Jennifer?
George Hyatt isn't a warden.
Pleasure's all mine.
Thank you, Warden.
He's a violent, hardened criminal, serving 30 years for armed robbery and assault.
Anything you need, Jennifer? I'm your man.
Thank you.
He is also persuasive, according to Assistant District Attorney Frank Harvey.
By all accounts that we've gotten, George Hyde can be a very charismatic, charming, likable fellow.
Choosing the wrong man has been a lifelong problem for Jennifer.
Jennifer has a disorder of affection. She has to be attached to some man who she thinks loves her for her to feel complete.
The emotional weakness makes her easy prey for George.
She was at the point in her life where she thought everything was just going downhill, and he just picked her up, and she was just caught up in it.
She was easy pickings for George Hyatt.
Oh, shit! You got a shrimp, girl? Yeah.
Jennifer is happy to break the rules for her man.
Oh, baby, you're great, man.
They pretty quickly developed an inappropriate, intimate relationship. And in short order, she got fired for, of all things, smuggling into him fast food. I believe it was shrimp.
But Jennifer is now obsessed. She walks out on her husband and children and moves closer to the prison.
He, of course, had his cell phone, and he called her, and he had her on the phone 24 hours a day.
God, I wish I was there with you. I wish you were here too.
Now that he has a girlfriend on the outside,
Baby, I love you.
he won't risk losing her.
Will you marry me?
Yeah, okay.
Jennifer says "I do" to her fourth husband in 14 years.
I pretty much looked at it as Jennifer had been married a lot and she'd made another mistake.
George soon makes it clear what he wants from his new wife.
Babe, you gotta get me out of here.
How?
You can bring me out of my court hearing next year.
George was facing so much time.
Babe, I got it all worked out.
It appears he made the decision that it was worth taking a chance.
I'm ready to get a car, and I need to get a gun. Can you do that for me?
Okay.
Part of her really saw this as kind of a romantic adventure.
Baby, I love you.
Her crazy, wild criminal husband.
Jennifer is about to make a life or death decision. Once a warm-hearted nurse, Jennifer Hyatt is on the run. She has been shot in the hip, helping her criminal husband escape from custody.
Jennifer is the type of person that would not hurt anybody. She cared for animals. She cared for older people. She never had a mean bone in her body. So this is something that was completely out of character for Jennifer.
We're free, baby. We did it.
Now she has a price on her head. And it's all for love.
All she wanted was a chance to be with the man she loved, and it was somehow unfair that she couldn't have that. And she decided, by golly, she was going to get it.
It's August 2005. George Hyatt is on his way back to prison after a court hearing. It is here that Jennifer will prove her devotion to her husband.
They had a very specific plan. She was told by George, think this over, go through this in your mind, be prepared. Be prepared, be prepared. Jennifer approached the van.
Just shoot him! Whoa, whoa, lady, don't shoot.
George said shoot, and she did.
All she heard was the man she loved telling her to do something.
Let's go, baby, let's go, baby!
Larry Harris, the other guard, drew his weapon and returned fire. Jennifer was wounded. She had to have known it at the time, but she was able to keep going.
I'm hit. Stay with it.
As Jennifer and George make their escape, Wayne Morgan lies critically injured.
These guards are not strangers to us. We knew these people on a first-name basis. So it was personal to all the people involved in the court system, and was just a shock.
It is an even greater shock for Jennifer's mother.
I was watching the internet, and something popped up that said there had been a shooting in Kingston, Tennessee. And I went, oh, this is really strange. That's where Jennifer went. So I clicked on it. Well, needless to say, it pulled up her picture and said she'd shot a guard. And of course, I kind of lost it.
Hiding in a motel in Kentucky, Jennifer hears the fateful news that will seal her future.
In an exchange of gunfire, the corrections officer was shot in the abdomen and later died in hospital.
Wayne Morgan, father of two, dies on the way to the hospital.
He did what he was sworn to do. That was to try to keep his prisoner, and he died for it. There was an immediate, massive hunt, a lockdown of areas.
Hello?
It was all over the media.
This is Deputy Nikki Ralston with the United States Marshal Service.
After 36 hours on the run, the couple are surrounded in Columbus, Ohio.
Get George and come out of the room with your hands held up.
They knew there was no place further for them to run.
So. The first time I talked to her, she says she didn't regret anything. That was the day that she got incarcerated.
Get your hands up. Now turn around and walk backwards towards us.
She says everything was great and everything was wonderful, and she did it for the love of her life.
Hands up, higher.
I think that she was totally manipulated with this husband of hers. He had done this 5 times before, and he finally found somebody that he could manipulate to the point where she would do this for him. I do not think that Jennifer's intention was ever to shoot.
Sally Lamson believes her daughter's version.
She was holding the gun,
Gonna shoot!
and one of the guards reached for the gun, and it scared her, and she pulled the trigger.
But eyewitnesses are adamant she followed George's orders.
If it were otherwise, why would she have bullets in the gun? Why would she bother to know how to use the gun? If it were otherwise, why would she take the safety off the gun? She had the opportunity to back away, and she didn't. She shot instead.
Jennifer Hyatt avoids the death penalty by pleading guilty to first-degree murder. She will never be released.
She cries every day, every single time holidays come around. I can't believe I did this. I don't know what I was thinking. I miss my family. I miss my children. She has all the regrets in the world. She's mostly regretful for what she has done to the victim's family.
Jennifer's problem was all about men. She had to have one. She wasn't exactly discriminating. She went from one to another trying to find herself. In the end, she found the one that brought her down.